Hello gorgeous people, love the scraps. I'm from Australia. I have a tutorial for you guys today, and it's winter here, so I have a little bit more time and I can spend those making a few more tutorials for you guys. I'm always busy during summertime because of the farm, and I hardly have any time to do any tutorials for you, and I do apologize for that. But today I have one for you, and I hope you're excited as I am. Today we're going to be making this beautiful little shabby chic pouch bag, as well as a tutorial on how to make this flower here, and I will share with you guys the supplies that you need. And then we're gonna go ahead and start off by making the flower, and then I will share with you guys how to assemble this quick bag that you can use as a gift bag, you know, when you're sending out racks or stuff like that, and you just want to, you know, to present your laces or your gifts in this bag for your loved ones or your special friends. So this little flower assembly here is a pin that I have incorporated, so when you send them out, your friend can use it for other items, such as a brooch on her dress form, or other things also that she wants to use. So once I've made my flower, I've stuck it onto this brooch setting that I have in my stash here. But you can use any kind of brooch setting that you have for the bag, or you don't have to make it as a pin. You can tie it straight onto your tie. I mean, like, you can glue it straight onto your tie, and then you can just tie. Once you tie the bow on your bag, it just stays at the front here permanently like that on your tie all the time. But I like to add the additional feature of being able to give your friend the option of having it on the bag, or being able to use it on something else also, which is for me it's versatile, and they can choose to do what they like to it. But it's really nice on the bag here, just to accent the bag. I didn't do too much to the bag because the flower is beautiful already, and if you do too much embellishment on the bag, is going to take away the feature of the flower, and that's not what I want. I want the flower to be the main focal point. On the side of the bag here, I'll take the flower away and then I can show you the assembly of the bag. For the bag here, it's very simple. It's just two pieces of fabric folded in half, and then on the sides I've added this beautiful crochet lace on either side that I've taken like off an edging of a doily, and then at the top here again just the same edging of another doily. And this bag is just really simple to put together. It's not hard whatsoever. It's a bit frayed and tattered and all that, but it's a simple and quick and easy project as a gift idea. And if you want to go into extremes, you can do a lining for the inside and all that, but I don't think it's going to bother that much, because, you know, it's meant to be a quick and simple project that you're going to just woof up, you know, in 30 minutes or less, if you're really good at sewing, and just put it together. And you can, you know, put in there. I've got laces and doilies in here at the moment. I think just doilies. But it just has like a tie like that. It's a closure. You can make a tie out of anything. I've just used some tattered curtaining fabric. This pouch here is made out of just a square shape, or more like a rectangular, longer that way and a little bit shorter that way, and you can make it any shape and size you like. You can use any laces and trims, whatever you like, on the side as well as at the top here, and you can make it any size. Like I mentioned, both front and back are the same. And inside it's nice and roomy, and you can put in all your gifts in there also. So I was going to do a few of these and give my paper bags a break, so because I've been altering paper bags like mad, and I don't want to keep altering paper bags. And I thought this way, because I love fabric at the moment, I might want to make some more gift bags like this and present my gifts in there for my beautiful friends. And I want to share with you guys how to make them, because they're pretty easy. So make the pouch bag as well as the beautiful pin to coordinate. So we'll start off by making the flower first in my tutorial, and then I will share with you guys how to assemble this beautiful little pouch to put your laces and trims in, and your yummy goodies after we make the flower. So let's get ready, and I won't be long. Okay guys, here's a close-up of my beautiful flower. As you can see, it's lovely and very shabby also, and you can add any kinds of, you can use like just fabric for this, or you can use laces, just all laces. It's up to you on what kind of fabric or ribbon trims you want to use, and whatever color you want to use. I can't remember exactly on top of my head what the width of this fabric is, but if you put your two fingers together like that, it's equivalent to the width of your two fingers. I forgot. I just went to the craft shop and I just picked out a fabric that I thought would be good enough. Not too wide, but if you put your fingers together and the ribbon fits across two sides like that, then that's the size that VAR uses. So go by like that. I usually just eyeball a lot of things. I don't measure, but for this sake of the tutorial, I've gone ahead and measured the length of each petal for you. But with VAR, I just usually measure like that on pretty much what my petal is going to look like, the size of it, and imagine that in a circle. But I'll let you guys know for the measurements for the outer petal, it's 3.5 inches, and for the measurements of the inner petal, it's about 3 centimeters. Not 3 centimeters, 3 inches, and 3.5 inches, and this one here is 3 inches also for the lace layer there also. If you don't want to make the lace layer, you don't have to, but it just adds dimension and texture to your fabric, to your flower I mean. And here I've gathered it a little bit here just to create more texture effect on the actual flower itself. Don't mind my tattered fingers, like I mentioned. I always have tattered hands working hard on the farm. With the dangle trims here, this is I used whatever's left of the ribbon, and you would need 1 meter. 1 meter is a little bit more than a yard, so I'm not sure what a yard is in centimeters. I haven't checked, or I've forgotten, but what you will need is 1 meter of the satin ribbon, and with the laces you will just need about maybe 30 centimeters, and then you can just chop it into pieces like I was showed you in the tutorial. So let's go ahead and share with you guys how to make the first layer. So as I mentioned, you will get a yard of fabric, a yard of satin ribbon, or you can just rip some fabric and use like muslin, any kind of fabric that you will have in your stash. But if you're going to use fabric, I would prefer something that's cotton so the edges won't fray and you don't have to keep singeing it and stuff like that. So I have used fabric for the purpose of this tutorial. I have cut out, so from my strip we're gonna make a pink one this time, and from my strip of 1 meter I have cut out 3.5 centimeter, 3.5 inches length. I keep stuffing up my centimeters and my inches because we operate, or we work by centimeters, but you guys do it in inches, and I have a inches measuring board, so I went by that. So 3.5 and 3, just a little bit less than 3 inches, about that much less than 3 inches. So 3.5 inches and a little bit less than 3 inches. So I did measure, but I don't know exactly how you would say it, like it's 2.95 inches or whatever, nearly 3, but it's not quite. So I won't confuse you more. You just, or another way is, once you cut your 3.5 centimeters, you take it like that, and then your next one, you have it up next to it, and you just make sure that it just kind of like doesn't cover the top, that you know, your petals, that's how your petals are going to be, about 1 centimeter away. That's pretty much it, but you're not going to sew them together. So from there you would need a thread and a needle. Let me see where I put my thread and my needle. Thread and a needle, and you just put you just thread your needles however you like to, and then I start off with the longest petal, and what you do once you've cut the ribbon is you will cinch the bottom of it just by using a lighter, and just quickly rub it like that so that your ends don't fray. So with these ones here, just quickly press your lighter and then cinch the edges just quickly over, so that when you're stitching it together that it doesn't fray, and you have a nicer finish on the ends. I'm not very good at tutorials, so bear with me because I hardly ever make them, but I love to make them for you guys so that I can share a little bit more of when I do craft, so you can see the process of me making, you know, or creating a project. When I do make something, I always try and make them then and there because I don't have a lot of time, like I mentioned. and I don't always want to record everything because it takes time explaining and stuff like that, so hope you guys understand. So what you do once you've cut your 3.5 inches of satin is you put the two open ends together like that, and you keep as close as you can down the bottom. You start from the bottom, you keep as close as you can to the edge, and you start from the bottom up. You pull your thread, and then you do a running stitch in and out, in and out, and you go down again, down, and you pull your thread like that. Okay, then you go to your next petal. Always make sure you do the long ones first, and then you do your short ones, so you separate them so that you don't get confused. You cut 5 of the long ones, 3.5 inches, 5 of those, and 4 of the a little bit less than 3 inches one. Okay, so pop those little bit less than 3 inches aside, and you're going to do your 3.5 inches petal first. So put them together, start from the bottom as close as you can to the edge, go up, and then you do your running stitch in and out, in and out, up, and then down again. Pull your thread like that, just let it dangle, bring it together and let it dangle. Okay, go ahead and do your next one. So up as close as you can to the bottom, and then in and out, and down. So it goes down again, up, and then the last one goes back down. Pull it together. So it's pretty easy, and then once you get used to it, you'll be able to make it really quick. Sorry if I'm off frame. I don't have a fancy setup where I can just look into my you know, laptop or whatever. I'm just working off my camera right here. And then we go to the last one. So go up from the bottom, the needle goes out, and then you start doing your running stitch in and out, keeping the ends together, up and then down. Okay, and then you come to this stage where all your flowers are gathered together. So you have like a string of them, like this. You have 5 petals on a string. And what you do is you pull them so they come together like that. Okay, and then from the ends you stitch in again. So using the last one, you're going to close the ends off. You go up on the same side, and then you go down again. Up and down, up and down. It's pretty much just up and down just to seal the edge, and you pull it together so that the petals flip up, as you can see there. That's pretty much it. So once you bring your petal together, you just go up and down, and then you can stitch it off by doing a knot to hold it together. You pull it so that the petals come together in the center there. As you can see, if there's a gap, your flower is going to be very open, so you've got to pull it tight so that the center comes together. Just do another quick knot in, and then put your thread through the loop. Whoop. The camera space is very tiny, so, and I'm trying to work around the tripod also. So do a loop, go down, and that's pretty much your first layer. For your second layer, for the sake of this tutorial, I won't do the lace layer. The lace layer is just 3 layers. So you have the ribbon, then you do exactly to your lace layer, and then you do another ribbon layer on top of that. So 3 layers. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to do just 2 layers this time. So I'm just going to quickly share with you guys the basic steps, and then you can add as many layers as you like. So you ended off down the bottom, and then you put your needle up. So you go back to the center of the good side. That's a good side because your petals flip up. And that's a bad side, you see, it's the ugly side, and your good side is where the petals flip up. So you start from there, you go your needle back up again, and you bring your little smaller than 3 inches together like you would the big one. So you start from the bottom, pull your needle out, and then just do your running stitch, keeping as close as you can to the edge. Running stitch, and then you go down. So you finish down and pull away and bring your petals together. Okay, half your fabric, fold in half, put the ends together, start from the bottom, pull your needle through, then start doing your running stitch, up and then down for your last, or for the end of your petal. Second last one. It's pretty quick and easy. Once you get used to it, you'll be able to woof it up in no time. So bring your needle through, do your running stitch, and then down again, and the last one. You can add as many petals as you like, but not too much, because then it would be really tight and too many layers, and you know you'll be sitting there forever doing all these many layers. So up, and then do your running stitch, and then go down again, and your next layer of petal dangles on top. And then from there you form exactly as you would your other one. You bring all your petals together. You will have the dangly part there. Okay, because you're on the outer side here, that is the good side on the upper side here. The bad side is the bottom side. So you slowly bring your petals together like that, and then you would go down on this one here, down, and you pull through, and then you bring your flower together, your petals together. Okay, bring your petals together, and once it's together like that, and you position it in the right place that you want your petals to be, you put them in between the gaps that overlaps the outer petal. You see in the gap right there, you place them there. Okay, once you bring your flower to your smaller layers of petal together, and there's not much hole in there that you've squished them together, you go all the way down to hold it in shape. Your needle goes all the way down to the base out here. Then, okay, and then you hold it together. See, that's your flower. And then back up again. Just do it a couple of times to secure your flower. And down to the bottom. Just a few times like that. So it just positions your flower into place and just holds it in shape also. And you can play around with it to make sure that it sits properly, and just do a few more random stitches here and there just to make sure that your flower sits properly in the position that you desire. And then you can just go to the back and do another knot to tie it off. That's it. Clip your edges, clip the ends, and you've got your loopy satin flower. See there? That's really, really pretty. So the additional layer in between here is just one more layer of the lace. Like you do it like, that would be, for example, if you're using lace, this second layer here would be your lace also. And then you put your needle through the bottom and then through the top again, and then you'll start your third layer of your satin or of your desired fabric of your choice, and then you will have 3 layers like this one. You see, 1, 2, 3. You repeat this pattern twice, this step twice, and the measurements of the third layer is the same as you would this one here, but you would overlap it again, so the next petals in between the middle here. You see, I've got petal, I've got lace in the center, and then I've got this matches the satin at the back there. So it kind of like overlaps. So your flower's dimensional, it has different textures. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're only going to be doing 2 layers. And it's still really pretty. And then once you have your bling, you can add it to the center there, like that. That is a beautiful bling center from Natasha Scrapbook Corner. I'm just going to add a little piece of lace for this one because it doesn't have the dimensions of the other one. I'm just going to add the lace in there to create more texture, because I like adding textures to my project. So what you do is you put a bit of glue in there. You can use any type of applique you like, or you can use a doily cutout. Just add it together like that, and then put more glue in the center, of your flower, and then put your pearl center right in the middle and press it down. Press, so it forms a shape. It creates depth and dimension to your flower, and there you have your beautiful satin loop flower there. It's really lovely, but with the extra layer of the lace, it adds more dimension and more depth to your flower. But for the tutorial, I'm just going to do 2 layers for you. Now I'm going to be sharing with you how to add the dangles on the end. Okay, from your you see here, I've just used the same coordinating satin fabric that matches, the same satin ribbon that matches the flower for the dangles and the additional pearl trim. So it's quick and easy. It's not hard whatsoever. I don't want to put too much detail in it because it's meant to be a quick and easy project. So, but if you want to take time and you have a lot of time and you want to embellish it more, you can add laces, you can add tatting, you can add knitting, you can add anything, up to you. So whatever so from your 1 meter of lace or satin ribbon, you will have about this much left, and from here you will cut it into strips. So I have cut 4 strips on the cream colored one, but I've only used 3 strips. So just eyeball it about half a centimeter, and just cut all the way up. You don't want it too thick, because then your dangles are going to be thick and chunky. So you want it kind of like smallish. So just divide your ribbon into 4 parts. So just cut it up. And because you're using satin fabric, satin ribbon, and you're cutting it, you're going to have to cinch the edges off. You're going to cinch the edges off. So, not now, sweetheart. Mum's recording. So that's just my little boy. Mum's recording, sweetheart. I'll be inside. Yeah. Okay, so you're just cutting all your strips like that, and you will only need 3. If you want to add 4, you can, but we're only going to use 3. So I'm going to choose the 2 sides that already has the edges already cut. I mean cinch, as the ribbon is, and then a 3rd one. So, and it's not hard to cinch it. Just run your lighter through it quickly like this, just to neaten the edge up in case it frays, because you don't want it to fray. Be careful, you'll burn your fingers. So that's the 3rd one. Oh yes, we're doing one with the double edges. So hold it together. My light is not that good. Don't tell me my light is dead. So cinch it quickly. Just going up. I've got farm hands, so I can't really feel the heat because my hands are really rough and rugged. But that's how I am, because I'm a hard worker. Work hard on the farm. And I enjoy it because my veggies come out really nice. And they taste really good also. And if you have really fine, soft hands, you'll probably feel the heat. But just be very careful. Or if you've got matching pink satin fabric already, or ribbon trim already, you just cut it. You don't have to do what Va does, but I like to use everything that I have. There we go. So that's pretty quick and easy. And just do another knot on the end of your needle. Don't forget your knot. Sometimes I forget, and then I go, forgot my knot. So do another loop and pull your knot out. What you do is you overlap your ribbon. Okay, you have some longer and some shorter. Oh, I have a little burnt here, so I'll just snip that off. Okay, you overlap your ribbon. So you have a longer strip and a shorter strip. It's just to create dimension and texture to your dangle on your flower. Okay, so I will only be using 3. So just overlap them, so some are longer and some are shorter. And just put right where the center is. Just put your needle and thread through the 3 of them together, and make sure you put a knot on the end of your ribbon like I mentioned. So just in and out until you have your 3 ribbons together. Oop. Like that. You sew, they kind of like sew them together. You can glue them together too, but sometimes I just like to use the ribbon and thread. It just doesn't make your project stiff, if you know what I mean. And you grab about the same length in pearls, a little pearl trim. This is like a 3mm one, I think. And you sew it on also, so in and out with your pearl trim. Just go over your pearl trim. Like that. Just make sure you don't stitch or overlap your ribbons in again. So just go in and out, or you can wrap it a few times just to make it easier. Sometimes when I'm in a hurry, I just wrap my thread around all of them together like that. Then I go in again just to secure them together, and that way it's just easier. And then you can glue it onto the back of your flower. So mine has a heart facing up, so you make sure you want to do it where the point is. You want to stitch it down where the point is. So the point, I can feel it with my fingers, is about here. So that's where I will want to add my dangles. So I'm going to stitch my dangles to my flower. Just do some quick running stitches in and out. Just make sure you don't go all the way through. Just going to make some quick stitches. In and out, in and out. And you can use glue. It'll probably be easier for you guys if you just use glue, so that you don't have to keep playing with this. And because of the positioning that I'm doing this at, it's just a little bit awkward for me. If I was to hold this up against my chest like now, and you guys can't see it, I'll be able to stitch it really quickly, because I'm doing it away from me up with the camera. So all you do is just stitch them together, in and out, then a few times, and then you tie your knot and you just end it there. Pull it out one more time. Whoops. And then you just finish it off. I've just got my loop through. Hope you guys don't mind watching through this. And just cut it off. My needle down here, and you've got your dangles, as you guys can see there. It's a beautiful little dangles, and then you will glue it onto your pin and tie it onto your bag. I'll be right back.